Alright, if you saw my last video, you saw I was playing around with coming up with a planting caddy to use in my garden for when I put seeds in and, transplant the plants out in the garden and stuff. And this here was the version that I started with. Pretty simple. But I told you I was going to add more and had some changes to make. And, that was just kind of a prototype. So I went over to that Libre Atom that I bought there, and I've been enjoying this program and made some changes to it. I added a roller string on the back, an area for a roller string, and then I went back and I stretched it out a little wider for the spring, so I had some space to add a pair of the little clippers that I use for the house plants inside and for transplanting and stuff. And I also just put a spot for a ruler in there and made some other changes. So pretty much this is the final version I came up with, and I did have some problems when I printed it out. I used the dimensions on a couple websites and they didn't work right. So, but there it is. I also made some inserts because I don't have a two-color printer. But anyhow, down to the K1, and I did print out multiple versions of this. You'll see. First one here I printed out as fast as the printer would run, pretty high speed, so far from perfect, but it was just to see how things work. And this is where I found out that the rope roll didn't, or string roll didn't fit in it anyway. But you can see quick, easy print out after the first changes. And then you can see in that little box I also designed like a little watch spring type lock to hold the string in place. But I'm really happy with this K1 printer. It's just amazing how much fun it is, especially compared to the lasers. I'm just having so much fun with it. You can make real things that you can use with this thing quickly. Anyhow, let's go and put this together. Here you can see the little spring holders that I made to hold the string rolls in place. And what I did is I 3D printed a couple ends, put some screws in it, cut a piece of fiberglass fence pole to fit in the middle of it. And there's the little spring-loaded thing. Just like those little gizmos that hold your watch band on your watch. And popped right in the thing, and that all worked out good. So it looks good. I think this is going to work out good. Yeah, I'm happy with the results here. First one, like I said, was too small for the roll, but I did eventually get it. And I did have some problems with the that you already see on the front. The R and the H, I didn't put supports in there. So the first row of 3D printing kind of sagged a little bit. So I just have to clean it out a little bit with a rotary tool to get the letters to fit in there flat. Then these are the pieces that hold the string. And I printed them with a clearance hole for 1/4 tap. Actually, it's a little bit undersized, and let's see, I'm trying to tap this here and hold it, but I just can't, just too hard. But I'll just put a little tap in there and show you anyway. You can see it does tap really nice. I was amazed how nice this 3D printed stuff taps. And there's a socket set screw, 1/4 by about 1/2 that I had laying out in the shop. I found a couple of them, and that fits perfectly in that hole that I 3D printed in there. So that's exactly how it's going to work. And let's do it right. So I'll grab it with a pair of pliers here. Just got a pair of smooth jaw pliers here to grab it and hold it while I'm tapping. And that makes it a little bit easier. And I was surprised I got really beautiful clean taps in the plastic. And I was able to crank down pretty good on these screws to lock them in place. So I'm happy with that now that I know, that works. That's a good way to mount things too. Alright, so there's how it goes together. And then I had this 30-year-old assortment of Harbor Freight springs I use all the time. I grab, springs when I need them, and found a couple that looked about the right size for what I need. They fit right in the hole there. And they're like a Chinese handcuff slipped together there. But eventually I got them apart and dropped one on one side in the piece of fiberglass pole. And these, I got a Tractor Supply. They're just the electric fence poles that you push in the ground. And then I'm going to just glue in another set of these little characters here. I'm using super glue on them. It would be nice to have a multicolor printer, but I just can't justify the cost. It's so easy to do stuff like this rather than waste all that extra printer poop, getting color prints and stuff. So another thing I did is for cutting the string in the back, I put a knife blade in. Now, these little 9mm knives, it was cheaper to buy a batch of knives than to buy a set of blades on Amazon. So I just bought like 8 knives, and I'm going to break off a piece of the blade, just long and a little bit shorter than what I need in there. And I did 3D print a pocket in there, and they slide in there, and they kind of friction seems to hold them in place pretty good. You got to be careful you don't get stabbed pushing it in. The tap, and there's my cutter. You can't get your fingers down in there to get cut, but it does work on the string. So that was the simple solution to have a way to cut the string without digging out a knife every time. And I decided to try this jute twine this year because all that cotton takes like 5-6 years to rot in the compost pile. So I figure this stuff will rot pretty quick. You just slide them in there and push them in with your finger and then pop it in place. That really did work good, for holding the rolling. I mean, that's a good idea for anything you want to build or make, to work. So I have have some twine out there when you're putting the little transplants out, trying to tie them up and stuff. Make it a little bit easier on me too. And then I had a little stainless steel ruler I printed a pocket for. I don't know, I got them at my dollar store. And these little pruners that I use in the house, and I use them, out in the garden and stuff. So I figured I'd throw a pair in there. They're cheap on Amazon. If you buy 6 of them, they're like $2 a pair. If you go to buy one, it's like $5. But I have a couple pairs of them laying around, so usually grab one. And then I took this Sharpie holder, the middle one. I made that square so I could do either a Sharpie in it or my little tweezers, because sometimes I use them to put seeds in too. And then this is that little seed feeder. This is the good one, and then I've got the other ones from Amazon that also fit. And I always like to have some little markers, so I mark things when I'm putting them in and know exactly what it is if they're, not marked. And this is the knife I decided on. It's a Milwaukee stainless steel folding blade knife. Figured that would be good for the garden. Boy, it's heck to try to find somebody that'll ship a knife to you in New York. Amazon won't ship them, so I had to go through Home Depot. And the numbers that they had on their website in Home Depot were wrong, so that first one was wrong, and you can see I got it so it fits in the second one. So that's the reason for that last print. So I have 2 of these caddies that are good. And then I put a little piece of rubber on the back there, self-adhesive rubber with a slit in it, just to hold that end of the rope when you snap it off. You snap off the piece, you don't want it to go flying and unrolling. So let's put that rubber in this one now. And you can see with a roll of string on there, it's kind of a pain in the neck to get that out of there. You got to push up from the bottom while you're pushing in on those things. But when the roll is empty, there's no core in this roll, so it'll pop right out. And there it is, a little piece of self-adhesive rubber that I cut and just put a slit in it for the actual string to get caught in. So I just stuck that in there, and it worked good. I was pretty surprised. It's a soft neoprene type rubber. It worked good. Let's snap that back in there. I'm really happy the way these came out. Just going to be such a handy little thing for the garden, because I'm always, forgetting stuff or having them laying around and everything. So it's so nice to be able to grab everything at once. And again, having a roll of string will be good, because whenever I'm putting the transplants out, I usually have to put a little stick in and tie them to it. So there it is, the final versions. And again, they, contain everything that I'm going to be using out there. I think I got it. I think it's a, it came out really nice. I'm happy with it. And a 3D printer is just so much fun. I mean, you can make wall hangers and stuff like that with lasers and, other things. But 3D printing just opens up a whole new world. So I've been happy with that Creality K1. And, I went with this knife, but I did find out that the other standard Milwaukee folding knife will fit in here too, and that's just the one with the steel blade and steel thing. So I mean, this one would rust, but it would work too. So either one fits in there, and I do have plenty of room for seeds as what I grabbed to go out there. So that's basically the end, and I just thought I'd share this, and I'm going to trying to figure out how to share the files, and whether I want to set up an account on one of these sites to kind of try to get a couple cents, to make a couple cents off of all the time I put in this and stuff. So I should get that figured out soon. Or there's just some good ideas for you to use if you want to, design and build one. So I just thought I'd share this, and something to play with while I'm waiting for my seed orders to get here, and to, get ready to fire up the grow tent soon to get all the garden plants started. So in the end, I've really been having a lot of fun with this Libre Atom software. It didn't cost a lot, and also this Creality K1. I love this printer. It's just been so great. I'm through like almost 15 rolls of filament in it since I got it, with all the different things I've been playing with, and I've just been having a good time and making things that I can use, and it's fun. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.